Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel and welcome to Sunday Morning Baseball, playing season ticket baseball. We are still very much in the middle of the 1985 pennant race in season ticket baseball. Today we are at September 18th, 1985, and we are live at Dodger Stadium for a National League West matchup between the Houston Astros and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Historically speaking, the Astros won this game 7-2, but we will see what Season Ticket has to say about that. First, a full rundown of the standings. As in the AL East, the New York Yankees have officially clinched a playoff berth at 95-50. The Detroit Tigers are 11 games behind them, and the Toronto Blue Jays are at 83-62. They're a game back of the Tigers. The Orioles are a game back of the Blue Jays for the third place spot in the AL East. The third place team in the AL East is most likely going to host the AL wildcard game. And in the AL West, it's basically a two-team race between the California Angels and the Kansas City Royals, as the Angels are at 80-63 and the Royals are 3.5 back. The Chicago White Sox are under 500, which won't get them into the playoffs. Every other team there has come to doomsday. In the NL East, the St. Louis Cardinals have wrapped up a playoff spot at 90-54. The Mets are 8.5 games behind them, and the Expos are chasing both of them. In the NL West, which is where our attention turns today, or this morning, I should say, the Dodgers come in with a record of 93-54. Like the Cardinals, the Dodgers have clinched a playoff spot, and in fact, the Dodgers have taken over the 1 seed in the National League. The Astros are 3.5 behind the Dodgers, and the Reds are looking up at both of them at 78-67. The Padres are near doomsday. The Braves and the Giants are already there. Fans are filing into Dodger Stadium. We're expecting a sellout for this one. So let's jump right down to the diamond and get into today's action. Starting pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers is Rick Honeycutt. 8-12 with a 3.42 ERA. 142 innings pitched, 67 strikeouts, 49 walks, 9 home runs, and 85. As the rest of the Dodgers get loose behind Honeycutt, we will take our first look at the Astros starting lineup. Leading off, once it decides to focus, we've got Bill Duran at second base, Jim Pankovits in right field, Kevin Bass is in center field, Jose Cruz is in left field, Glenn Davis is at first base, Phil Garner is at third base, Mark Bailey is at catching, Dickie Thon is at shortstop, and the starting pitcher is Mike Scott. We will meet him in the bottom of the first. Yep. Let me just make sure I've got my lineup all straight. Yep. I got it all kinds of out of whack. Okay, now we've got it all set. Leading off for the Astros is Bill Duran. 287 average, 14 home runs, 59 RBI, and 85. We are using blue, white, and blue dice for this game. Dodgers are the home team. Dodgers trying to make up some breathing room in the NL West. Astros trying to pick up some ground as the Dodgers pursue the 1 seed. Which team will meet their goal this morning? Only the dice know, and in order to find out what the dice know, we have to go to the first pitch, so here we go. And we will lead off once I put the dice tower all the way back together with a 317 as Duran swings through the heat on the outside corner for strike 3. That is out number 1, and we are underway here at Dodger Stadium. Jim Pankovits is now the batter. 244 average, 4 home runs, 14 RBI, and 85. Honeycutt will look into Scotia for the sign. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 314, and Pankovits gets frozen by a changeup for strike 3, out number 2. Two outs in the inning, and here's Kevin Bass. 269 average, 16 home runs, 68 RBI, and 85. Honeycutt will look to Scotia for the sign. He will set, and he will pitch. That will be a 352. And a 352 is going to be a ground ball over to second. Picking that one up, going to his left is Sachs. He will grab that, throw it over to first, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Astros here in the top of the first. Score is Houston 0, Los Angeles coming to bat. Starting pitcher for the Houston Astros is Mike Scott. 18-8 with a 3.29 ERA, 221 2/3 innings pitched, 137 strikeouts, 80 walks, and 20 home runs in 85. And now we will meet the Dodgers starting lineup. I'll tab back into OBS just to make sure everything's focusing. And I'll do it from this side so I can read the score sheet a little bit better. Leading off, we've got Mariano Duncan at shortstop, Ken Landreau in center field, Mike Marshall is in right field, Greg Brock at first base, Bill Madlock at third base, Mike Scotia catching, Len Matuzik in left field, Steve Sachs at second base, and Rick Honeycutt, the pitcher, gets a pitcher batting card. Just making sure my lineup is all straight. Okay. Leading off for the Dodgers is Mariano Duncan. 244 average, 6 home runs, 39 RBIs in 85. And once more, I will see you guys for the top of the second. Scott will get the sign from Bailey. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That will be a 163, and a 163 is going to be a fly ball into right field. Pankovitz will track that one coming in. He'll make the catch, and that'll be out number 1. Ken Landreau is now the batter. 268 average, 12 home runs, 50 RBI in 85. Just adjusting the Dodgers tableau slightly. Scott will get the sign from Bailey. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 420 against a righty. A 420 is going to be a ground ball over to short. Grabbing that is going to be Thon. He will throw that over to first. It's a nice, easy play. 2 outs in the inning. Mike Marshall is now the batter. 293 average, 28 home runs, 95 RBIs in 85. Scott will get the sign from Bailey. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 124. That'll be a 324. And Marshall gets frozen by a curveball on the inside corner. Strike 3. That will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Dodgers, just as the Astros did in the bottom of the first. An early pitcher's duel means we have no score here at Dodger Stadium after 1. Honeycutt will finish up his warm-up tosses as Jose Cruz steps into the batter's box. 300 average, 9 home runs, 79 RBIs in 85. Honeycutt looking in at Scotia for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 167, and a 167 is going to be a leadoff walk for Cruz. He'll be the first base runner for either team today. As Honeycutt loses control of a slider that gets away from him for ball 4. Dodger infield will go to double play depth as Glenn Davis steps into the batter's box. 271 average, 20 home runs, 64 RBIs in 85. Nothing cute here. Davis is going to grip it and rip it. Honeycutt will get the sign from Scotia. He will set, and he will pitch. 540. That's going to be over to second base. Second base for the Dodgers is Sachs. And a 540 is going to be a ground ball right to him. Sachs will flip that over to Duncan at short. That'll get Cruz. Duncan will make the pivot over to Brock at first. It is in time. That is a 4-6-3 double play. 2 outs in the inning. Stadium cheers Yay! Every play here is critical when the Dodgers and the Astros are battling for control of the National League West. Here's Phil Garner with 2 outs. 268 average, 6 home runs, 51 RBIs in 85. Honeycutt looking into Scotia for the sign. He will set and he will pitch. With a 232, Honeycutt against a righty 232 is going to be a ground ball over to third. Madlock will grab that with no problem. He will throw that over to first, and that will retire the side. Nothing across except the walk for the Astros. We still have no score heading into the bottom of the second. Hopefully you guys are enjoying a little bit of Sunday morning baseball as we continue the 1985 pennant race. Just like the Astros, the Dodgers have the middle of their order coming up. Here's Greg Brock. 251 average, 21 home runs, 66 RBIs in 1985. Scott will look into Bailey for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 540. That'll be over to second base where Duran waits for it, and it'll come to him on a hot grounder. Duran will take his time, move that over to first, 1 out in the inning. Bill Madlock now steps into the batter's box. 360 average, 2 home runs, 15 RBIs in 85. Scott looking in at Bailey for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 682. That's going to turn into a 692 because of fatigue. And Madlock's going to reach with a base hit. He will be the first base runner for the Dodgers today. The Astros infield will go to double play depth as Mike Scotia will work his way into the batter's box. 296 average, 7 home runs, 53 RBIs in 85. Could the Dodgers lay down a bunt here? I think Scotia is going to lay down the bunt, and Scotia is a pretty good bunter, so the corners are actually going to come in expecting the bunt. Okay, here we go. Scott will get the sign from Bailey. He will set, and he will pitch. Okay, that's going to be an 8, 16, and 4 is 20, and that's going to be a good sacrifice. That'll be bunted right at first base. Madlock will go to second as Scotia puts the bunt down. 2 outs in the inning. And here's Len Matuszek. 222 average, 3 home runs, 13 RBIs in 85. I got a little bit of dust on my glasses here, so hold on. Okay. Got that all blown off. Scott will get the sign from Bailey. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 204 against a lefty that'll turn into a 404. And Matuzek's going to work his way on with a 2-out walk as Scott loses control of a fastball on the outside corner, and that'll put Matuzek on at first with 2 outs. Steve Sachs, now the batter. 279 average, 1 home run, 42 RBIs in 85. Scott looking to Bailey for the sign as Dodger Stadium now comes alive. Scott will set, and he will pitch. That is going to be a 463 against a righty. A 463 is going to be a base hit into center field. Madlock is going to be content with a single as the bases are full of Blue Bombers. Although he might want to try, he might have wanted to try to score there because the batter coming up is Rick Honeycutt. Madlock with a speed of 4 against center fielder Bass with a 4-arm. Probably would have been an even matchup, but there's a lot of baseball left to play. And we never know. We have seen pitchers help out their own cause on the network here on the channel. Scott will get the sign from Bailey. No place to put Honeycutt. Scott will set, and he will pitch. That is a 356. We're based on the contact rating for Honeycutt of a 1. 356 is going to be a called strike 3 on Honeycutt as a changeup freezes him with the bat on his shoulder. That will retire the side. 2 hits and a walk, but the Dodgers get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. Scoreless here at Dodger Stadium after 2. Stadium groans. Ugh. In hindsight, the Dodgers probably should have sent Madlock with that speed, especially with the pitcher due up. So yes, that might have been a little bit of bad managing on my part. Top of the third, we'll bring Mark Bailey to the batter's box, but also in my defense, September baseball, you kind of want to be a little bit cautious and don't want to make that first mistake. 265 average, 10 home runs, 45 RBIs, and 85. Let's get the right pitcher out there. Honeycutt looks to Scotia for the sign. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 521. That'll be over to Scotia. And Bailey's going to swing through a splitter that gets into the dirt for strike 3. That is out number 1. Third strikeout of the day by Honeycutt. 1 out in the inning, and Dickie Thon is the batter. 251 average, 6 home runs, 29 RBIs, and 85. Honeycutt will get the sign from Scotia. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 524. That's over to Scotia, and that's going to get popped up the chimney. Scotia throws his mask away once he tracks it down. He'll make the catch, and that will be out number 2. Mike Scott is now the batter. Let's see what he does with the bat on his shoulder. Honeycutt will get the sign from Scotia. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 488. Based on his I rating of a 3, a 488 is going to be a fly ball into right field. Getting under that for the Dodgers is going to be Marshall. He will make the catch, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Dodgers, or go the Astros, here in the top of the third. Still no score as we get set for the bottom of the third. Honeycutt proving to be surprisingly dominant so far. He hasn't allowed an Astros base runner yet. But otherwise, not much going on for the Astros. Bottom of the third brings us back to the top of the Dodgers order. Here's Duncan. Duncan is 0 for 1. Scott will get the sign from Bailey. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 273 against the righty, 273. Uh-oh. Duncan gets into one. That is deep to left field. Duncan with a power of a 2. Can he put the Dodgers on the board first? Deep to left field. Duncan's going to get under that one. He's going to lift that into left field. Going back for that is Cruz. Cruz is back to the track. Got some space before the wall. And that's where the ball is going to die. Cruz will get to that one. He'll make the catch for out number 1. Duncan took it a pretty long way, but Cruz able to track it down, still in the stadium. And here's Landro. Landro's 0 for 1. Scott will get the sign from Bailey. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 399. And Landro just gave the Dodgers the lead with a boom! That ball is hit high. That ball is hit deep. That ball is gone. Home run, Ken Landro. Dodgers strike first. 1-0 here at Dodger Stadium in favor of LA. Stadium cheers. Yay! Marshall, now the batter. Marshall struck out looking his first time up. Scott has got to have instant amnesia from that. He will get the sign from Bailey. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 472 against a righty, and a 472 is going to be a base hit into left field. Marshall will be content with this 1-out single. as the Dodgers bats may be starting to wake up here on Sunday Morning Baseball. Double play depth for the Astros, as the batter now is Brock. Brock today is 0 for 1. Nothing cute here from the Astros, or from the Dodgers. Brock's going to grip it and rip it. Scott will get the sign from Bailey, and he will pitch. That is going to be a 455 against a righty. A 455. Brock gets into one. That'll be into right field, and that's going to be a double. Marshall, what's Marshall going to do here with an arm of a 3? Marshall's going to be content at third with the double. As the Dodgers now have a huge opportunity coming up. The infield has got to play in. Dodger Stadium is loud all of a sudden as Madlock is now the batter. Madlock today is 1 for 1 with a single. Astros are trying to keep this one under control. Marshall has to go on contact. Scott will get the sign from Bailey, and he will pitch. That is a 112. That'll turn into a 312, and that's going to be a fly ball into right field. Pankovitz will get under that one. That'll be the second out of the inning. Here comes the throw from Marshall, and it's off target. Marshall will score to give the Dodgers a 2-0 lead. Brock will advance to third on the play. Stadium cheers. Yay! I just need to go update Digital Diamond. That's one way to extend the lead. Batter now is Scotia. Scotia today has a sacrifice hit. 2-0 Dodgers, bottom of the third. Scott in a bit of trouble. He will get the sign from Bailey, and he will pitch. That is a 550. That'll be over to third base. That'll be Garner waiting for it, and it'll be a ground ball right to him. He will take his time, throw that over to first, and that will retire the side. But the Dodgers strike first. 2 runs on 3 hits. A sacrifice fly by Madlock makes the score 2-0 Dodgers after 3. As Ben Witz now joins us here at Dodger Stadium. Just in time to see the Dodgers take a 2-0 lead. I'm going to take a quick drink before we jump back in with top of the 4th action. And we are back to the top of the Astros order. Here's Duran. Duran is 0 for 1 today. Honeycutt will get the sign from Scotia. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 154, and a 154 is going to be Honeycutt's second walk of the day. The infield will go to double play depth. And I'm going to English lessons. Here's Pankovitz at any rate. Pankovitz is 0 for 1. Duran, could they try to have Duran swipe a bag here? Steal of 7 against a hold of 8, and then Scotia with a 5 arm. No, I think they're going to let Pankovitz swing away, especially with Bass due up. Honeycutt will get the sign from Scotia. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 261 against a righty. A 261 is going to be a 561. That'll be over to Duncan, and that'll be a ground ball right to Duncan. Duncan will throw that over to Sachs at second. That'll get Duran. Sachs will make the throw to Brock at first, and it'll be in time to nail Pankovitz. That is a 6-4-3 inning derailing double play. 2 outs in the inning. Stadium cheers. Yay! And that's the second double play that the Astros have hit into today already. Here's Bass. Bass today is 0 for 1. Honeycutt, very happy to get another double play to get himself out of some trouble. He will get the sign from Scotia, and he will pitch. That is a 175, and that's going to be a base hit for Bass, the first hit for the Astros today. Wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. Is Pankovitz? Nope, I got to undo that play. Next, Pankovitz, no. I'm just having to back up and redo a play here, so bear with me for a second while we get this all straight. And then Bass just hit a base hit. Okay, now that we've got all that caught up, Cruz is the batter. Cruz has a walk today. Honeycutt trying to get himself out of a little bit of trouble. He got a big ground ball, though. The last time he had this trouble. Honeycutt gets the sign from Scotia, and he will pitch. That's a 361, and a 361 is going to be a ground ball over to short. Duncan waits for that one. He will take his time, move it over to first, and that will retire the side. One hit and a walk, but the Astros not able to get anything out of it. Still 2-0 Dodgers as we get set for the bottom of the fourth. And Ben is taking a break from bathroom cleaning. Hopefully everything is going well on that for you today. Bottom of the fourth, we'll see the bottom of the Dodgers order up next. Here's Matuszak. Matuszak has a walk today. Scott will get the sign from Bailey. He will set, and he will pitch. With a 601, that'll turn into a 611. And Matuszak's going to swing through a changeup for strike 3 for out number 1. One out in the inning, and here's Sachs. Sachs is 1 for 1 with a single today. Scott looking into Bailey for the sign. 2-0 Dodgers, bottom of the fourth, 1 out. Scott will set, and he will pitch. With a 120, that'll turn into a 320, and a 320 is going to be a base hit on the infield for Sachs. That'll just get out of the infield. The corners are going to come in expecting the bunt, as the batter now is Honeycutt. Honeycutt is 0 for 1, and he is going to lay down the bunt. Scott will get the sign from Bailey. He will set, and he will pitch. Let's see. Bunt is a 5, 11, 22. So a bunt of a 22 is going to be bunted right to third base. He will take that. Grabbing that is going to be Garner. He will throw that over to first for the out. Sachs will move over to second. Dodgers are very much willing to play small ball here as well. Duncan, now the batter. Duncan is 0 for 2. Sachs at second, 2 outs in the inning. Scott gets the sign from Bailey, and he will pitch. That is a 485. That 485 is going to be a fly ball into center field. Tracking that down for the Astros is going to be Bass. He will make that catch, and that will retire the side. Nothing across except the single for the Dodgers. Score is still 2-0 in favor of the Dodgers after 4. And OBS being stupid once again. Going to wait for the disconnect or the reconnect. Haven't had to call the hazmat team yet. Well, that's a good thing. Top of the fifth coming up brings us back to the middle of the Astros order. Here's Davis. Davis today grounded into a double play, one of 2 the Astros have hit into. Honeycutt will get the sign from Scotia. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 264 against a righty. 264 is going to be a 564, and it'll be a ground ball over to Duncan as he ranges to his left, throws that over to first, out number 1. Here's Garner next. Garner's 0 for 1. Honeycutt looking in at Scotia for the sign once again. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 285 against a righty. 285, oh boy. Garner gets into one. That is deep to center field. Garner with a power of a 4. Can he cut the Dodgers' lead in half? Garner's going to get into that one into center field. Tracking that one down is going to be Landreau. He will have plenty of room before the track to make the catch, and that will be out number 2. Garner took it a pretty good way, but Landreau able to track it down for 2 outs in the inning. Bailey, now the batter. Bailey's 0 for 1. Honeycutt looking at Scotia for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 343. And Bailey's going to swing through a changeup for strike 3. That will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Astros here in the top of the 5th. We are at the halfway point of this game. Dodgers still holding on to a 2-0 lead. Dodgers are trying to make up ground pick up some breathing room in the race for the 1 seed in the NL and in the race for the NL West. Astros trying to track down the Dodgers. Scott will finish up his warm-up tosses as he's looking at the top of the order, starting with Landreau. Landreau is 1 for 2 with a solo bomb that started the Dodgers scoring. Scott will get the sign from Bailey. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 695. Oh boy. That's a 705. And Landreau is getting into another one. That one is deep to center field. Landreau with a power of a 6. Does he extend the Dodgers' lead? Well, with what's left of the baseball, he does. Because that's out of here with a boom! That ball is hit high. That ball is hit deep to center field. Bass going back for that one. Bass is back to the track, back to the wall, and looks like the ball might have split in flight somewhere because the string's going to the inside of the strings is going to one spot in the stadium, and the skin of the ball is going somewhere else. But anyway, that ball is gone. Home run, Ken Landreau. Dodgers extend their lead. 3-0 now in favor of the Dodgers. Stadium cheers. Yay! And here's Marshall. Marshall is 1 for 2 with a single. Astros are not looking happy with what they're seeing so far. Scott will get the sign from Bailey. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 450-something. I'm going to re-roll that blue D10. That's a 452. Against a righty, a 452 is going to be a base hit from Marshall into left field. He will hold with a nobody out single. Astros infield will go to double play depth. The batter now is Brock. Brock today is 1 for 2 with a double. We're going to get some activity in the Astros bullpen as the Astros are looking to eat up some innings. Been laughing probably at how I described that home run. Starting to get loose for the Astros. Let's see. Good mix. The Astros are going to get Ron Mathis warming up. The Astros are trying to tell Mike Scott, hey, get us out of the inning. You're due to bat second in the inning. Scott will get the sign from Bailey. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 286 against the lefty. Uh-oh. This is a problem. Brock's into one that's deep to right field. Brock with a power of a 9. Brock's going to get that one into right field. Going back after that one is going to be Pankovitz. He's back to the track, but he's got enough room to track it down. 1 out in the inning. Here's Madlock. Madlock is 1 for 2. Marshall edging off of first. He's not going anywhere. Scott will get the sign from Bailey, and he will pitch. That is a 418 against a righty. A 418 is going to be a ground ball over to short. Grabbing that one is going to be Thon. He will throw that over to Duran at second. Duran will make the pivot over to Davis at first. It is in time. That is a 6-4-3 double play for the Astros, and the side is retired. But the Dodgers get another run. 1 run, 2 hits, a solo bomb by Ken Landreau, and the score is now 3-0 Dodgers after 5. The question is, can the Astros parlay that double play into something against Honeycutt? Top of the 6th brings us back to the bottom of the Astros order. Here's Thon, who's making some notes here. Thon today is 0 for 1. Honeycutt looking in at Scotia for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 418 against the lefty. 418 is going to be a ground ball over to third. Madlock will grab that one. He will fire that over to first. Out number 1 in the inning. Scott is going to come out of the game. The Astros have seen quite enough of Scott today. And the Astros, who are they going to go to that hits lefties decently well? Let's see. Good question. Mathis continuing to throw in the bullpen for the Astros, as the Astros are going to bring in Bert Pena to pinch hit. 276 average, no home runs, 4 RBIs in 85. They need to get somebody on. Honeycutt will get the sign from Scotia once again. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 654, and that's going to be grounded over to third. Madlock once again getting to that one, coming to his left. He'll throw that across the diamond. 2 outs in the inning. Duran, now the batter. Duran is 0 for 1 with a walk. All right. Honeycutt gets the sign from Scotia. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 530. That's over to Brock at first base, and he's going to grab that one easily. He'll wave off Honeycutt coming over, take it to the bag himself, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Astros here in the bottom of the 6th. Dodgers now holding on to a 3-0 lead. Digital Diamond yelling at me. Yes, I know, Digital Diamond. Astros need a pitcher. Coming in to pitch for the Astros, and hopefully to eat up some innings in relief, is going to be Ron Mathis. 3-5 with a 6.04 ERA, 70 innings pitched, 34 strikeouts, 27 walks, 7 home runs in 85. He will be charged with the second half of the Dodgers order. Here's Scotia. Scotia today is 0 for 1 with a sacrifice bunt. Mathis will get the sign from Bailey. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 531. That'll be over to first base, which is Davis. And a 531 is going to be grounded right at him. He will wave off Mathis coming over. That'll be out number 1 in the inning. Matuzik, now the batter. Matuzik's 0 for 1 with a walk. Mathis gets the sign from Bailey once again. He will set, and he will pitch. That will be a 389. And a 389 is going to be a fly ball into left field. Getting under that for the Astros is Cruz. He will make the catch. 2 outs in the inning. Sachs, now the batter. Sachs is 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Mathis will get the sign from Bailey. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 423 against the righty. That's going to be a ground ball over to short. Thon gets after that one. He gets it with no trouble. He'll take his time, move it over to first, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Dodgers here in the 6th. Dodgers still holding on to a 3-0 lead after 6. Honeycutt getting his warm-up tosses up as we get set for the top of the 7th and the top of the Astros order. Pankovits leading off the inning. Pankovits today is 0 for 2. We are going to get some activity in the Dodgers bullpen, even though Honeycutt is pitching very well. Getting ready just in case Honeycutt starts to run into trouble. Let's see, ready, switch. Carlos Diaz is going to start to get loose for the Astros, just in case Honeycutt runs into any trouble. Honeycutt will get the sign from Scotia. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 344, and that's going to be a base hit for Pankovits, and that'll be the first point of pitcher fatigue against Honeycutt. Astros will go to double play depth, and here's Bass. Bass is 1 for 2, and I didn't forget about the pitcher fatigue on Honeycutt. I'm just getting the spin down for that now. Pankovits will hold. Bass is going to swing away. He's got a lot of power here. Honeycutt will get the sign from Scotia, and he will pitch. That is a 472 against the lefty. Plunk. Ouch. Fastball comes in a little bit too far, nails Bass. And that'll be the second point of fatigue against Honeycutt. And now suddenly the Astros have something going on as Honeycutt's starting to have some control issues. Batter now is Cruz. Cruz today is 0 for 1 with a walk. Honeycutt trying to keep control of this inning. He's in a little bit of trouble. Dodger Stadium is loud, hoping for a big-time pitch. Honeycutt gets the sign from Scotia, and he will pitch. That is a 351, and a 351 is going to be a base hit on the infield, and the bases are now full of Astros. Holy cow, what a bad situation for the Dodgers all of a sudden. Third point of fatigue against Honeycutt. Batter now is Davis. The infield has got to play in. Davis today is 0 for 2. And the Astros are, the Dodgers are going to go to the bullpen now. They cannot afford Honeycutt's fatigue, sending them to the stadium sheet on a potentially dangerous play. Honeycutt is going to come out of the game. The Dodgers are going to go to the bullpen. Coming in to pitch for the Dodgers is going to be Carlos Diaz. 6-3 with a 2.61 ERA, 79 and a third innings pitched, 73 strikeouts, 18 walks, 7 home runs, and 85. His job is to keep this game locked down right where it is. Diaz looks into Scotia for the sign, looks around. Pankovitz at third, Bass at second, Cruz at first. No place to put Davis. Diaz will set. Here's the kick, and here comes the pitch. That is a 321. That is a swing and a miss by Davis on a slider for strike 3. That is out number 1. How big is that strikeout? Garner, now the batter. Garner today is 0 for 2. Diaz gets the sign from Scotia. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 191, and a 191 is going to be a bloop single, and the Astros are finally going to get on the board. Pankovitz will score. Bass to third, Cruz to second, Garner to first. 3-1 in favor of the Dodgers. Stadium groans. Ugh. And here's Bailey. Bailey today is 0 for 2. Diaz will get the sign from Scotia. He will set, and he will pitch. 253 against a switch right. 253 is going to be a fly ball into right field. Tracking that down is Marshall. He will have room to get to that. 2 outs in the inning. Thon is now the batter. Thon is 0 for 2. Diaz trying to get out of the inning with only the 1 run for damage. Bass at third, Cruz at second, Garner at first. Diaz will get the sign from Scotia. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 642, and it's going to be a ground ball over to first. Brock will pick that one up. He will take that over to the bag himself, and that will retire the side. 1 run on 3 hits and a hit batter. Score is now 3-1 Dodgers as we head into the bottom of the 7th inning. We are at the 7th inning stretch. Sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. As usual, I won't torture you guys with my rendition of it, but I will take a small break. Don't forget, we have Fast Score coming up after this morning's game to take our look around the majors, as Ben put it. Our next game will be tomorrow. Will be actually later this afternoon. It'll be September 22nd, 1985. If anybody would like to weigh in, go ahead on that. I've got 3 games I've penciled in, but we'll talk about that once we get clear of Fast Score. Bottom of the 7th coming up will bring us to the bottom of the Dodgers order. We're going to get some activity in the Dodgers bullpen as starting to get loose for the Dodgers. Let's see. Looking at switch righty. Getting loose for the Dodgers is going to be... They don't pitch righties well. I guess it's pick your poison at this point. They're going to get Dennis Powell loosening up in the Dodger bullpen. But Diaz is going to bat. They want to have him eat up some more innings, especially since Powell now needs some time to get ready. So Carlos Diaz will bat. Mathis will get the sign from Bailey. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 427 based on his I rating of a 3, and it's going to be a ground ball over to short. Thon will get to that with no trouble. He will make the throw over to first, out number 1. Duncan, now the batter. Duncan is 0 for 2, 0 for 3, I should say. Mathis gets the sign from Bailey, and he will pitch. That is a 287 against a righty, 287. Uh-oh. Duncan's into one to left field. He's got a power of a 2, though. He would love to get that run back that the Astros scored. Can Duncan do it? He can't do it, but that will be a base hit into left field. That'll drop for a single. The infield will go to double play depth, as the batter now is Landro. And Landro has been kind of killing the baseball tonight. He obliterated one in the 5th and got a hold of another one in the 3rd that was a little bit closer, and he's grounded out to short tonight. So nothing cute from the Dodgers here. Landro is just going to grip it and rip it with a line like that. Mathis will get the sign from Bailey. He will set, and here's the pitch. That is a 138. And a 138 is going to be a fly ball into right field this time. Astros looking a little bit nervous, but Pankovitz is able to find that one this time to the relief of the Astros bench. 2 outs in the inning. Marshall, now the batter. Marshall is 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Mathis will get the sign from Bailey. Duncan edging off of first. Mathis will set, and he will pitch. That is a 174, and a 174 is going to be a bloop single, and with 2 outs, that'll see a 2-base advance for Duncan. Duncan will go to 3rd, Marshall to 2nd. Brock is now the batter in a dangerous situation for the Astros. Brock, though, is 1 for 3 with a double. Mathis looking to Bailey for the sign. He will set, and he will pitch. 364. And a 364 is going to be grounded over to short. Grabbing that is going to be Thon. He will take his time, throw that over to first, and that will retire the side. 2 hits, but the Dodgers don't get anything out of it. We are still 3-1 Dodgers after 7. Diaz is going to come out to start the top of the 8th. We're going to get some activity in the Astros bullpen, as getting loose for the Astros is going to be, let's see, they're looking at the top of the Dodgers order. Righty, lefty, righty. Almost sounds like an old dance move I used to enjoy when I was dancing. Right, left, right turns. Frank DiPino will start to get loose for the Astros. And actually, on that subject, Mathis is going to come out of the game. The Astros are going to pinch hit. Someone who hits lefties decently well again. That is going to be this time. The Astros are going to bring out Craig Reynolds to pinch hit. 272 average, 4 home runs, 32 RBIs, and 85. He will be the pinch hitter. Just noting it on my score sheet. And we've got Dennis Powell warming up for the Dodgers in case Diaz runs into any trouble. Diaz will get the sign from Scotia. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 482, and against the lefty, the 482 is going to be a fly ball into center field. Getting under that one for the Dodgers is Landreau. He will make the catch, and that will be out number 1. Once I get this to catch up. Duran, now the batter. Duran tonight is 0 for 2, as the Astros have not been able to get anything going against this Dodgers pitching staff. Diaz will get the sign from Scotia, and he will pitch. That is a 330, and a 330 is going to be a base hit for Duran, and the first point of fatigue against Diaz. I'll deal with the fatigue in a second. Infield at double play depth. Here's Pankovits. Pankovits is 1 for 3. Diaz gets the sign from Scotia. He will set, and he will pitch. I've actually been doing pitcher fatigue wrong. That's a 553. That'll be over to third base, where Madlock's waiting for that one. 553 is going to be grounded right to him. Duran with too much of a lead, so he'll take the sure out at second for out number 2. Duran will make second on the play. And here's Bass. Bass today is 1 for 2 with a single, and he's been hit by a pitch. Diaz gets the sign from Scotia. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 604. That'll turn into a 614 now that I'm paying attention to pitcher fatigue. And Bass gets frozen by a changeup for strike 3. That will retire the side. That's a hit, but the Astros can't do anything with it, as the Dodgers are holding on to a 3-1 lead heading into the bottom of the 8th. Did a whole thing, 2 or 3 week PE session on various dances. Nice. I'd be curious to know what dances those are, if you remember those, because there's quite a few that I've taught. The Astros need a pitcher, though. Coming in to pitch for the Astros is going to be Frank DiPino. 3-7 with a 4.03 ERA, 76 innings pitched, 49 strikeouts, 43 walks, and 7 home runs in 85. And the Dodgers are going to tell Dennis Powell to take a seat and not worry about getting loose. The Dodgers do not want any funny business here. They're going to get the closer, Tom Niedenfuer, warming up. Leading off the bottom of the 8th for the Dodgers is the middle of their order. Here's Madlock. Madlock today is 1 for 3. DiPino gets the sign from... Come on. I forgot to click OK on Digital Diamond. DiPino gets the sign from Bailey. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 395. That could be trouble, and it will be a base hit as DiPino will lead off and give up a single to the first batter he sees. I'm going to tab back into OBS since I did jar the camera just a little bit. Charleston in the Hustle and some Arabic dances too. Well, my teaching was primarily in ballroom, as you might have seen if you've dug into videos on the channel. The infield is at double play depth, and the batter here is Scotia. Scotia is actually 0 for 2 with a sacrifice hit. Tough decision for the Dodgers. Do you bunt here, or do you swing away looking for some insurance? You've got Matuszek coming up. I think the corners are going to come in. They're thinking Scotia is going to bunt. And I think he is going to bunt. So DiPino will get the sign from Bailey as Scotia shows the bunt. Scotia will set, or DiPino will set, and he will pitch. That is an 8, 16, and 10 is 26. That's going to be a pretty good bunt. That'll be grounded right back to the pitcher. And all runners advance, batter's out. If he can't, if arm plus the 3 dice is greater than 10 plus speed. DePino's arm is a 2. Scotia's got a speed of a 2. So Scotia's got to beat a 12 to get to first base. Actually, yeah. And that'll be an easy play for DePino as he's cat-like off the mound. He will take the out at first, and that is out number 1. Matuzik, now the batter. Matuzik is 0 for 2. DePino looks to Bailey for the sign. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 306. And Matuzik gets frozen by a changeup for strike 3. That is out number 2. Sachs, now the batter. Sachs today is 2 for 3. DePino gets the sign from Madlock. Or not from Madlock, from Bailey. He will set. Here comes the pitch. That is a 598. That sounds like a lot of trouble. Right fielder is Pankovitz. And he's going to boot that one. And everybody's going to be safe. Not a good time for the Astros to be making errors. This is September, and you're in the middle of the pennant race. That is not a good time for the Astros to be making something that stupid. Diaz is going to come out of the game. The Dodgers are going to go to the bench. Haven't, but definitely didn't do ballroom. It's an artistic form that has unfortunately faded away. Dance as a whole or just ballroom in particular, Ben? I'm just figuring out who the Dodgers want to bring in as a pinch hitter against DePino. Coming into pinch hit. Yeah, it is kind of unfortunate that ballroom's faded away. Ballroom is one of those things that I'd love to get back into, but I just look at my schedule right now with all the stuff I'm doing with my channel, and I'm like, where would I even put it at this point? But yeah, I really enjoyed doing it when I was doing it back in the day. But coming back to business, coming into pinch hit for the Dodgers is Bill Russell. 260 average, no home runs, 13 RBIs in 85. DePino trying to get out of this inning to give the Astros a chance. He will get the sign from Bailey after a chat on the mound. DePino will set, and he will pitch. That is a 275. That does not sound helpful, and it is not. Russell's got a power of a 0, though. If this ball gets out of here, I think the Astros are probably near throwing in the towel. But let's see with a power of a 0. Well, it's going to be deep enough to left field to drop in for a base hit, and it will give the Dodgers a run. As Madlock will come in to score, Sachs will make it to second, and the Dodgers will extend their lead. So Russell comes through with an RBI single, and that'll be 4-1 in favor of the Dodgers. Stadium cheers. Yay! And here's Duncan. Duncan is 1 for 3. DePino trying to get out of this inning. He will get the sign from Bailey. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 630. That'll turn into a 640, and that'll be a fly ball into center field. Bass will track that one down for the Astros. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. 1 run on 2 hits and an error, and the Dodgers now extend their lead 4-1 after 8. But will we see some 9th inning magic? Not a fan of these reality competition shows, but did watch a little bit of Dancing with the Stars and thought that was cool. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of reality TV myself, admittedly. I haven't watched too much of Dancing with the Stars because the thing is, with Dancing with the Stars, a lot of it is just flashy choreography. I think what would be more I don't know if I think it would be more interesting to see how they handle basic bronze figures and the technique with that. But I do think there's a lot of flash for TV, obviously. So yeah, a good dig into the fundamentals would probably be a bit boring for TV. So I get where they'd want to focus on the flashy choreography, but yeah, it might be nice to see how some of these celebrities and stuff dig into a lot of that more grounded technique. Because that's what I would always focus on when I was teaching. Anywho, Dodgers need a pitcher. Dodgers do not want any funny business, so they are going to the closer in this situation. They are going, once this decides to cooperate, to Mr. Tom Niedenfuer, 7-9 with 19 saves, 2.71 ERA, 106 and a third innings pitched, 102 strikeouts, 24 walks, and 6 home runs in 85. He has got the middle of the Astros order to contend with. First up is Cruz. Cruz is 1 for 2 with a single and a walk today. Niedenfuer will get the sign from Scotia. Fans at Dodger Stadium are loud, hoping the Dodgers can pick up this win. Niedenfuer will set, and he will pitch. That is a 243 against the lefty. 243. Cruz is going to swing through a changeup for strike 3, out number 1. Cruz trying to do way too much with the pitch. He should be just getting it into play. 1 out in the inning. Here's Davis. Davis is 0 for 3. And he's hit into one of the 2 double plays that's derailed the Astros' day. Niedenfuer will get the sign from Scotia. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 147, and Davis swings through the high heat for strike 3, out number 2. And the last chance for the Astros comes to Phil Garner. Garner today is 1 for 3 with a single. Fans at Dodger Stadium are loud, hoping the Dodgers can get this game done with. Niedenfuer will get the sign from Scotia. He will set, here's the kick, and here comes the pitch. That is a 593. That's into right field where Marshall's waiting for it. And it's a fly ball into right field. Marshall coming in for that one. He will track that down, take 2 steps, take 2 steps to his left, put out his glove, blop, and the ball falls into it. That's your game. The Los Angeles Dodgers get a big win on the board here as they take this one over the Astros by a final score of 4-1. Stadium cheers. Yay! Final line score coming up. And maybe in a non-TV setting, good point. Yeah, that, like I said, that's kind of what I think with maybe a better technique focus. Coming back to business, though, for the Dodgers, 4 runs on 12 hits and no errors. For the Astros, 1 run and 5 hits and 1 error. Winning pitcher today is going to be Rick Honeycutt. He will pick up the win. Mike Scott will end up with the loss, and Tom Niedenfuer will get a save. Carlos Diaz will end up with a hold. But of course, you guys know we are not done yet because we still have to ask our friends at Fast Score to take a look around the majors to show us how the rest of baseball got on today. As usual, I'm going to do my cleanup, but I will be hanging around in chat. I'll be hanging around in OBS since I'm basically done with Digital Diamond at this point. Plus, we also have to pick this afternoon's feature game. We have to pick this afternoon's board game anyway. But we will get to that after Fast Score. Tigers and Beer Make. Actually, that'll be... Oh, you're probably looking at... Where are you seeing Tigers and Brewers, Ben? Oh, those are the teams you're supporting. Never mind. I thought you were seeing them playing for some reason, but no. Honestly, that's probably a game that wouldn't get near the board with the Brewers fading as badly as they... If the Tigers and the Brewers were to play in September, that's not likely going to be a game that would get anywhere near the board with how badly the Brewers are fading. Yeah, when I do fast score, that's kind of what I figured. And now we are just about all set to take our look at the rest of the majors to see how they fared. The Dodgers pick up a huge National League West and a huge NL West win over the Astros by a final score of 4-1. But let's see how the rest of the majors fared. First up on September 18th, we've got the Brewers and the Orioles. Brewers, 1255, that is 7. Orioles, 1651, that is 6. And the Beer Makers pick up that win. Trying to play spoiler for the Orioles' slim playoff chances. Blue Jays and the Red Sox. Blue Jays, 1162, that is 7. Red Sox, 961, that is 6. And the Bluebirds get that win. Blue Jays need every win they can find here, and probably then some. Angels and the White Sox. Angels, 916 is 2. White Sox, 734, that is 3. And that's a win for the White Sox. Athletics and the Indians. Both teams have faced doomsday already. Athletics, 22-12, that is 2. Indians, 822, that is also 2. They will have extras. Athletics roll a 3 plus 0. Cleveland rolls a 2. Minus 3 is -1. That'll be a win for the Athletics in extras. Yankees and the Tigers. Sorry, Ben, but I don't envy the Tigers in this one. Yankees, 2033, that is 5. Tigers, 933, that is 3. And, yeah, the Pinstripers tame the kitty cats on that one. Mariners and the Royals. Mariners, 923, that is 2. Royals, 1124, that is 3. That's a win for the Royals. You cannot possibly be surprised by that outcome, Ben, as the Yankees are the very likely #1 seed in both the AL and overall throughout the playoffs. Rangers and the Twins. Rangers, 1051, that is 5. Twins, 624, that is 2. And that's a win for the Rangers. Reds and the Braves. Reds, 1745, that is 6. Braves, 831, that is 3. And that game belongs to the Reds. Pirates and the Expos. Pirates, 1941, that is 6. Expos, 843, that is 4. and that's a win for the Pirates. A bad loss for the Expos to be taking right now. Cubs and the Mets. Cubs, 926, that is 3. Mets, 1035, that is 4. And the Mets get a big win. Cardinals and the Phillies. Cardinals, 1241, that is 5. Phillies, 925, that is 3. And that's a win for the Cardinals, keeping pace with the Mets. Padres and the Giants. Padres, 1052, that is 5. Giants, 644, that is 4. And the Friars blessed that game with a win for them. September 19th, Brewers and the Orioles. Brewers, 1045, that is 5. Orioles, 1436, that is also 5. They will go to extras. Orioles roll a 5, minus 2 is 3. Brewers roll a 6, plus 1 is 7. Actually, hold on. Got that backwards. Back up. Brewers roll a 5, plus 1 is 6. Orioles roll a 6, minus 2 is 4. That'll actually be a win for the beer makers in extras. Normally, when I'm doing fast score, I read pink for the away team, yellow for the home. So I wanted to make sure that stayed consistent. And we put in the win for the Brewers. Okay. Angels and the White Sox. Angels, 713, that is 1. White Sox, 823, that is 2. And that's a win for the White Sox. Angels picking a very bad time to go on a skid with the Royals at their heels. Yankees and the Tigers. Yankees, 1266, that is 11. Tigers, 1052, that is 5. And the Yankees put a beating on the Tigers. Right now the Tigers are the 3 seed. They picked a bad time to have to go to New York and play the Yankees. Mariners and the Royals. Mariners, 344, that is 3. Royals, 1335, that is 4. And that's a win for Kansas City. Right, Seattle. Taking me a minute to find out who they were up against. Yeah, that is a very bad beat for the Tigers on the schedule. Reds and the Braves. Reds, 1833, that is 5. Braves, 613, that is 1. And the Reds take another big win. Astros and the Dodgers. Astros looking for a little bit of revenge after this game on the board. They won't get it here. Astros, 315, that is 1. Dodgers, 1031, that is 3. And that's a win for the Blue Bombers. Actually, I forgot to enter the board win for the Dodgers. I'm using on my ticker tracker. Pirates and the Expos. Pirates, 324, that is 2. Expos, 1031, that is 3. And that's a win for the Expos that they badly need. Cubs and the Mets. Cubs, 614, that is 1. Mets, 1545, that is 6. And that is a win for the Mets. Cardinals and the Phillies. Cardinals, 1335, that is 4. Phillies, 962, that is 7. And the Phillies get that win. Padres and the Giants. Padres, 862, that is 7. Giants, 115, that is 1. And the Padres beat up on the Giants. September 20th, Yankees and the Orioles. Yankees 16-26, that is 4. Orioles 9-31, that is 3. And the Yankees continue to win, and oh yeah, they're still winning. And playing spoiler for the Orioles while they're at it. Tigers and the Red Sox. Tigers 12-64, that is 8. Red Sox 9-23, that is 2. And that's a win for the Tigers. And Ben probably welcomes the change of scenery for the Tigers, as they don't have to go, as they're done at Yankee Stadium for now. Indians and the Angels. Indians 10-32, that is 3. Angels 13-32, that is 4. And that's a win for the Angels, trying to stop a skid. Athletics and the White Sox. Athletics 14-16, that is 3. Athletics. White Sox 17-42, that is 6. And that's a win for the White Sox. Twins and the Royals are both 4s. This would have been a great matchup if I was featuring pitchers. Burt Blyleven against Charlie Liebrand, but they are both 4s. Twins roll a 44, that is 4. Royals roll a 52, that is also 4. They are going to extras. Twins roll a 2, plus 2 is 4. Royals roll a 2, plus 2 is also 4. Very evenly matched, but because of home team, Kansas City will get that win in extras. Mariners and the Rangers. Mariners 19-11, that is 1. Rangers 364, that is 6. And the Rangers get that win. And I'm going to readjust fast score so it doesn't go sliding around on me. Brewers and the Blue Jays. Brewers 446, that is 4. Blue Jays 16-11, that is 1. And the Beer Makers get a win over the Bluebirds. I suspect the Orioles are probably going to be Blue Jays fans as the Orioles are going to be Brewers fans, actually, as they're hoping the Blue Jays slide so they can slip back into third place in the East. Reds and the Astros. Reds 952, that is 5. Astros 1162, that is 7. And the Astros, behind fireballer Nolan Ryan, get a win they have to have. Pirates and the Mets. Pirates 413, that is 0. Mets 365, that is 7. And the Mets, fighting for playoff position of their own, they get another big win. Cubs and the Phillies. Cubs 1046, that is 5. Phillies 624, that is 2. And the Cubs get that win. Braves and the Padres. Braves 653, that is 5. Padres 1055, that is 6. And the Padres, fledgling playoff hopes, hinging on getting another win. Dodgers and the Giants. Dodgers 842, that is 4. Giants 041, that is 2. The Dodgers will double up on the Giants. Expos and the Cardinals. Expos 442, that is 3. Cardinals 1265, that is 9. And the Cardinals triple up the Expos. September 21st, Yankees and the Orioles. Yankees 15-12, that is 1. Orioles 11-52, that is 6. The Orioles get that win. They're only one of the block from the looks of it. Tigers and the Red Sox. Tigers 962, that is 7. Red Sox 12-24, that is 3, and that is a win for the Tigers. Indians and the Angels. Indians 12-13, that is 1. Angels 13-21, that is 3, and that's a big win for the Angels. Athletics and the White Sox. Athletics 10-66, that is 10. White Sox 13-63, that is 8. And the Athletics win a shootout. And hold on just a second while I check on the Athletics record. 1 win, loss. So they should have gone 2-1 in this block. Okay. Now that I've got that sorted out, Twins and the Royals. Twins 11-35, that is 4. Royals 10-34, that is also 4. They will go to extras. Once again, Twins roll a 2, plus 2 is 4. Royals roll a 2, plus 2 is also 4. Because of home field, Kansas City gets that win in extras. Mariners and the Rangers. Mariners 636, that is 3. Rangers 1044, that is 5. And the Rangers get that win. Both teams, of course, playing for pride. Brewers and the Blue Jays. Brewers 5-11 is 0, as apparently the Brewers forgot what the bat was for today. Blue Jays 13-44, that is 5. That's a win for the Blue Jays. With Doyle Alexander and the with Doyle Alexander on the mound, I'm not surprised that the Brewers kind of forgot what the bat was for. Philip Anderson now joins us here for Fast Score. Yankees and the Orioles is one of the games I've got penciled in. We've got a few games left on the 21st. Then I'll update standings. Then we'll come back to Fast Score. Reds and the Astros are both 8s. Reds roll a 22, that is 2. Astros roll a 46, that is 5. That is a win for the Astros. Pirates and the Mets. Pirates, -656, that is 3. Mets, 13-15, that is 2. And that's a win for the Pirates. Another bad loss for the Mets. Cubs and the Phillies. Cubs, 845, that is 5. Phillies, 20-22, that is 4. And the Cubs get that win. Braves and the Padres. Braves, 612, that is 0. Padres, 1124, that is 3. And the Padres get that win. Dodgers and the Giants. Dodgers, 822, that is 2. Giants, 254, that is 4. And the Giants will double up the Dodgers. Last up in this block, Expos and the Cardinals. Expos, -235, that is 2. Cardinals, 962, that is 7. and the Cardinals pick up another win. And that's it for Fast Score for Block 41. Let me do my standings updates, and then we'll come back to Fast Score to pick this afternoon's feature game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed a little bit of Sunday morning baseball. We'll have more later this afternoon. We continue fat fingering on the numeric keypad on the laptop, because that's a thing I like to do apparently. See, this is Pittsburgh we're looking at now. That's 2-1 on the board, or on the ticker. Okay, everything's updated. Let me get the standings up to date. Okay, so the Orioles technically can finish with a winning record yet, which means they are still very much eligible in the playoff picture. Ben, I've got some bad news, though. The Brewers are next on the doomsday watch, because the Brewers right now are at 67 and 80. One more loss, and they're officially eliminated. And the Orioles, That's okay. So let's go back to Fast Score here, and we'll see what happened. The Orioles right now are 15 games back of the Yankees. They are 2.5 back of the Blue Jays for third place in the NL East, or in the AL East. And that third place spot in the AL East looks like it's likely to be the 4 seed, actually, which would host the wild card game. The Tigers in second place right now are currently the 3 seed, which means the Blue Jays would have to play the Royals in the wild card game. So the 3 games I had penciled in, as I'll bring it back up to OBS for a second. The 3 games I had penciled in for September 22nd. The Yankees and the Orioles were one of the games I had penciled in. I looked at the Reds and the Astros as well, but I'm not sure how warm I am to doing that, especially since I just had the Astros on the board. I'm also potentially looking at the Expos and the Cardinals. So let's go back to the standings and see which one's the most interesting. The Expos still fighting for their playoff lives, although they're 15 games back of the Cardinals. The Mets could still theoretically run the Cardinals down, but they're running out of time to do it. Yeah, we're not going to do the Reds and the Astros, since I just had the Astros on the board. And the Orioles are 3.5 back of the Blue Jays for the 3 seed. What is their board record? Actually, we haven't had the Orioles on the board, the Orioles or the Yankees on the board very much in this replay. So yeah, I think that's the game we're going to go with today. So later this afternoon, we will be, where's my green binder? So later this afternoon, we will be at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland for an American League East matchup between the New York Yankees and the Baltimore Orioles, as the Orioles are trying desperately to stay alive in the AL race. Ron Guidry will be on the hill for the Yankees, and Ken Dixon will be going for the Orioles. The Yankees and the Orioles. As for what else is coming up on the channel, Wednesday we're playing game number 3 on my War Room 10-game list as we play the Hunters by Constant Press and GMT Games. Saturday, Mystical Munchies will finish out of the Recipes from the World of Tolkien cookbook with the dessert, Bilbo's 11th birthday cake. And next week, I expect to be into the playoffs with another block of season ticket baseball. That'll be Sunday morning baseball. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone. The Los Angeles Dodgers keep control of this game and keep control of the NL West with a 4-1 win over the Astros. Once again, take care.